What is self-esteem? And more importantly, how can you build your self-esteem? How can you strengthen your self-esteem? Because when you have high self-esteem, you genuinely like yourself. You genuinely appreciate yourself. You genuinely enjoy being in your own skin. You genuinely enjoy living your own life. And this means other people will naturally like you, because whenever we meet somebody for the first time, we don't have the brain energy or the mental effort or the skills to figure out who they are all about in the first couple of seconds when we meet them. So we use their own self-evaluation as a proxy of how we should feel about them. So if we meet somebody and we sense unconsciously that they genuinely like themselves, we will like them as well. But if we sense unconsciously that they don't really like themselves so much, we won't like them so much as well. So how you feel about yourself sends a massively important message to the world. With average or low self-esteem, you're sending a certain message to the world. But with genuinely high self-esteem, you're sending a completely different message to the world that will get you a lot more positive feedback from other people. So how do you build your self-esteem? How do you increase your self-esteem? What is self-esteem? Well, according to recent research and evolutionary psychology, self-esteem is really a measure of some deeper fundamental concepts, ideas about your psyche. And if you address self-esteem directly without really understanding the underlying things that self-esteem is measuring, you'll kind of miss the mark. This is why a lot of public schools in recent years have tried to directly operate on self-esteem to raise the self-esteem of the students, hoping it will increase their grades, but it doesn't really work. This is also why a lot of self-esteem books don't really work, because they try to address self-esteem directly without addressing the underlying issues. It's kind of like that movie Spinal Tap. If you've seen it, it's a comedy mockumentary about a rock band. But there's one very famous scene where this guitarist has his amp and he's scratched out the numbers 1 through 10 and he's written 1 through 11 because his amp goes up to 11 while every other amp only goes up to 10. But the guy interviewing him is trying to convince him or let him know that the actual amp still does the same thing. The sounds coming out of the amp still do the same thing. It's just he's just changing the measurement. Changing the measurement doesn't change the underlying function. But he keeps saying, yes, but my amp goes to 11, like that's something special. That's kind of what you're doing when you address self-esteem directly. So what does self-esteem measure? And how can you increase that so your self-esteem naturally becomes higher as a result? Well, according to recent research and evolutionary psychology, self-esteem is a measure of how other people genuinely appreciate you. This sounds counterintuitive because a lot of books say that first we start with self-esteem and then other people will respond, but it's really the opposite. The other people responding to us causes our self-esteem. Other people genuinely appreciating us gives us high self-esteem. This is easy to imagine if we look through the model of a hunter-gatherer society. Imagine you live in a hunter-gatherer society and you did something that genuinely benefited other people. Like you found some food, or you found some water, or you scared away a tiger. People would give you a lot of positive, nonverbal signals that say, wow, that was awesome. We really appreciate what you did for us. And that would make you feel very good. On the other hand, imagine you did something bad, like you scared away an animal just before somebody was about to kill it so everybody could have something to eat. They would give you nonverbal signals of disapproval. And that would make you feel very crappy. And that crappy feeling would motivate you to not do that again. Whereas the good feelings would motivate you to do good things to help other people. Now imagine a tribe of people with this self-esteem instinct. Everybody is trying to do good things for other people to support the tribe. Everybody is trying to help everybody else in the tribe. This would create a very, very healthy tribe of humans. The difference is back in the Stone Age, this was very easy because everybody knew what everybody wanted. So everybody knew how to help everybody else. Everybody knew how to do things that other people would genuinely appreciate. Find food, find water, scare away dangerous animals, be able to read the weather patterns correctly. But today it's a little bit more complicated, but the underlying principle is the same. Whenever you do something that other people genuinely appreciate, and they send you those nonverbal signals of appreciation, genuine appreciation, that will boost your self-esteem. So in order to raise your self-esteem, be on the lookout for ways to genuinely help other people and get those positive nonverbal signals from them that say, wow, I really appreciate you. And if you follow these three kind of ideas, that'll make it a lot easier. First, you have to help people, genuinely help people, based on what they want, not what you think they should want. Two, you need to get a genuine look or words of approval, or not approval, appreciation. You need to get genuine looks of appreciation from them that say, wow, thanks for doing that. I really appreciate that. And three, as soon as you get that nonverbal signal of appreciation, get out of there. Don't hang around too long. Don't try to turn this into a relationship. Don't try to seduce them and get a phone number. Just do a good deed, get a genuine look or words of appreciation, and get out. If you do this regularly, you'll continue to boost your self-esteem. So what kind of things can you do? You can do simple things like hold the door open for people. It sounds kind of lame, but this will work. Not everyone's going to give you these signals of approval, but you can remember the ones that do and forget the ones that don't. Go into every situation when you're trying to do a good deed for somebody without any expectations and accept the positive nonverbal signals of appreciation and forget the rest of them. You can let people in front of you in traffic. Some people will just keep driving, but some will wave and say, hey, thanks a lot. That will give you a quick little boost to your self-esteem. But the most powerful way, the most powerful, long-lasting way to boost your self-esteem is to engage in small talk with other people. To talk to them and ask them questions and become interested in them and let them talk about themselves. Let them talk about their problems. Let them talk about how their day's going. Do this long enough until you sense that sense of appreciation from them and then bounce. That is the most powerful way to build your self-esteem, to engage in small talk with people, to make them feel good about themselves in a way where they genuinely appreciate it and they show you that appreciation through their nonverbal body language, nonverbal communication. Now, it may seem awkward to do this because if you do have average or below average self-esteem, you may have this preconceived notion that people don't appreciate you. But people are going to appreciate you or not appreciate you, not based on what's inside your head, but based on your behaviors that you present to the world. So once you start to present behaviors to people that they genuinely appreciate, you'll get these positive responses, and that will slowly build your self-esteem. And before long, you'll start to actively seek these situations because they will make you feel very good. They will make you feel very positive about yourself. And eventually, if you keep this up, if you keep doing these little things to help other people in genuine ways where they give you positive responses, your self-esteem will become so high, it will turn into a self-fulfilling virtuous cycle where pretty soon you're just always on the lookout subconsciously to help out other people and make them feel good about themselves, make them appreciate you. And pretty soon your self-esteem will be so high that just being around other people will be enough for them to appreciate you. And that's when life becomes very, very fantastic. That's when other people will naturally gravitate towards you. That's when people will naturally notice you when they walk into a room and notice that something's different about you than everybody else. That's when people will kind of just hang around you just to feel good to be in your presence. That's what will happen if you continue to do these exercises. So get started doing these and see what happens. Another trick you can do is at the end of every day, look back over your day and remember the things where you did do things for people and you got that positive response of appreciation. And just remember those before you go to sleep at night. That'll help kind of create that virtuous cycle. So try this out and see how much it helps you build your self-esteem. If you'd like to learn more about stuff like this, check out the links below. Thanks a lot for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.